On today's video, I'm going to show you how we box for CBA competitions.
In CBA, you can compete in up to 4 proteins: chicken, ribs, pork, and brisket. It's up to the promoter if they want to add pork or not. Today's promoter decided against it, so we're not running pork. That leaves us with just chicken, ribs, and brisket. For chicken in CBA, you have a lot of freedom. You can put anything in the box as long as it's not shredded chicken, and you can feed up to 6 judges. If you want to turn in thighs, wings, or even chicken legs, you have a lot of freedom on how you want to design your box. That's one of the things Sabrina and I love to do, is make as good looking a boxes as possible. If you're just running a half chicken, however, it's pretty simple. We like to put the best looking piece of the chicken facing forward, and that's really it.
So with CBA chicken today, we did decide to go with a half bird. It's exactly the same as IBCA. Here, we just want to put in the best looking bird. We got 6 minutes to go. And now, I want this breast to be like this. So I'm gonna go here. Clean up the box a little bit, but other than that, I would say it looks pretty good.
We've seen a lot of people add chicken wings or slice up their chicken breast in order to make a cool presentation. So again, with CBA, have fun with it. As for ribs in CBA, you can place as many ribs as you want, and you can put them whatever way you want into the box. I actually find this really advantageous because the more ribs I can put in the box, I can actually use the sides to my advantage to hold everything together.
All right, so today on ribs, it's gonna be the same thing as always. Our goal is to pick out the 8 to 10 best ribs. And these bones are pretty bad today. It's okay. We'll make it work as best we can. I'm not afraid to cut through this bone either. Those are real good today. I like those. So, boxing ribs is pretty simple. I'm just trying to find, like I said a second ago, my 8 to 10 best and turn them in.
So we really prefer not to mix and match different ribs from different racks. I want 4 or 5 from the same exact rack in a row just to make for the best presentation possible. And when I'm laying them on top of each other, I know that it's going to be nice and neat looking all the way through.
So right now, while we're doing this, my only goal is to get these as straight as possible. So I'm not sure if you can see in the footage, I hope you can. I am willing to cut through the bones. In my opinion, if you cook these right, you could cut through the bone pretty darn easily because they're so soft and so tender that it takes just absolutely nothing to get them off the bone. So I think that as long as you're cooking them really tender, you should be able to do that with no problem. And that's all that I'm doing. So you can see kind of these little pieces of bones here. That's coming off of the ribs. If they're crooked, it's okay. I'm gonna cut right through it. So we have one more rack to look at. And this one looked a little bit weird earlier. So I'm not sure what I think about it, but obviously we're still gonna taste it all the way through and see what it's like. So right here you can see, hopefully in the footage, I'm going straight through the crooked bone. Don't care that it's crooked. It is so soft, you can see with my electric knife, I'm going right through it. So at this point, I'm starting to get to the part of the rib that's a little bit higher than the rest. So I'm just gonna stop messing with it. I'm gonna turn it over. I'm gonna make sure I don't have any pieces here that are popping out from either side. Try that.
One thing you want to make sure with ribs and every single protein is you don't want to put anything in the box that doesn't taste good. So that's where you have an advantage with CBA, because you can put as little as 6 ribs. If some of them just don't taste right, do not put them in. But luckily today we felt like our ribs were really delicious and we put 10 in the box. Now my suggestion is putting the best tasting ribs on top. If you have enough, maybe all of the judges will go for those and those alone, and if they taste good, you're gonna have some pretty good scores. Now with brisket and CBA, the word of the day is freedom. You do have a lot of freedom here, and that's what I love about CBA. You can turn in slices and you can turn in burnt ends as long as you have enough for 6 judges. In my opinion, you have to start with a great piece of meat, and then of course you have to have a great trim. A great trim makes for a consistent cook every single time you put that brisket in your can or in your offset smoker. This is also going to result in really symmetrical slices that are going to look really good in that box. When I'm slicing brisket, I want to make sure every single slice is the same thickness. The slices that are closest to the point we've found are always better, so we typically go for those first, but you do want to make sure to have really nice slices. Now, when it comes to burnt ends, it's time to be really honest with yourself. Are they good? Are they tender? Or are my slices just that much better than my burnt ends? Sometimes they turn out absolutely amazing, and other times they just don't. Burnt ends are a little bit tricky to cook, so today we felt like our burnt ends weren't up to par with our slices, and we completely left them out. At times, our burnt ends are amazing, and we'll put in more than the slices, hoping that they're going to go for the burnt end. For us, boxing brisket is the most time consuming of it all. So we like to have a good game plan, and we know exactly what we want to do as soon as I'm slicing that brisket. We work as a family. My daughter actually opens and closes the box for us just to make sure the brisket stays as hot as possible. So now all of our food is turned in. We're really hoping that you guys learned something from this video. Hopefully these tips and tricks will help you at your next CBA. If you want to see if these tips and tricks actually work, stay tuned for awards.